So I don't have good news. Just so you know, I don't have good news. Um, as you saw, Mark and I were really busy yesterday. Him particularly, he did far more than I would have liked him to, up and down the ladder. Um, we, by yesterday morning, I'd got 3 broodies in that cage. One of them, the big black Brahma, who um, it could almost be a cockerel. They were in the cage and they kept knocking the water over. They kept chucking the food over because there's just too many of them in the cage. We went down last night. We were tired, and I moved them so I could clean underneath where they'd been because it was obviously covered in shit. Um, put them, put the water in with them and the food in, but they were on the grass. Put them with water and food, and before we turned our backs, that had been knocked over. And so I picked them up. We're both tired. You make bad decisions when you're tired. Pick them up, put them in the outer run, um, and shut them in there for overnight. And when I went down this morning, they're dead. So that's 2 gold Brahmas and the big black one. I think it looks like, and I'm not going to describe it, but from my knowledge, it looks like they've been attacked by a fween, which is a pine or stone martin. So we're now left with a cockerel and a black hen, and I feel bad for having made that decision, but I also know that when you're tired and exhausted, and this trying to break the brooders has worn me down, and when you're in that state, you don't make good decisions, and that wasn't a good decision last night. I had a real battle with the black hen. She wasn't happy about me stopping her from brooding. It's really quite aggressive, big hen. So yeah, we're down to the cockerel and 1 black hen, and I had said to Mark, this is exhausting me. I'm at the point of thinking that I might give them away because it is, I spent, it's me, I say we, but it's mainly me, spent weeks leading up to us going to the UK trying to break them, and managed it and was really pleased with myself, only to find 3 weeks on and we're back to the same thing, and I had 3 broodies. And it's just impossible. Well, I haven't got 3 broodies now because they're all dead. So I'm sorry for those of you that are distressed by this. As you can see, I'm not happy about it, but it's when you keep chickens, and as if you kept chickens as long as we have, which is 20 years, you are used to losing your flock or part of your flock to predators. It's not something, it's not pleasant, but it's like, it's the way it is. I've got my rheumatology appointment this morning, so we won't do anything about them until we come back today, and then we will dispose of the bodies. Meanwhile, they're just where they were killed. So that's very sad, very real, and I think it highlights that we can make really bad decisions when we're tired, and that doesn't just count for when you're putting your chickens away. There's lots of other things that we do when we're tired, and we make decisions when we're not probably fit to make decisions, and there's probably much bigger, more important, more consequential things that we can do, and decisions we can make when we're tired. So let that be a warning. So I won't be replacing them. I say that, and I know that we get to a point that we are missing our own eggs, and I'm already thinking, I saw some advertised. I think these Brahmas have been particularly broody. I saw some Marin chickens being advertised a few days ago, who lay really brown eggs, and I think I might think about that. I don't think I've never known chickens to go broody in the way these did, as often as these did, and yeah, maybe Marins won't go broody so much. So I'll have a look. See, one minute I'm saying I'm not going to do it again, and the next minute I'm thinking we really like having our own eggs. So that's the news. Mark hasn't cleared up the kiwi leaves, and he's going to do that when he's up for it. But he really did too much yesterday. He was, I think he started at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It was hot, but it's not reached that time of year where it's stinking hot. But he was still up there in full sun. He stopped 2 or 3 times, had a drink, stopped, rested for about half an hour, and then went back to it. But it was too much. What I did yesterday was all I could do. It probably took me half an hour, and that's it. I can't do anymore. I did a bit, obviously helped. Did I help him? I might have helped him a bit, but that half hour I did on the terrace is all I can do. So I've still got that job to continue. But I found myself this morning, almost running up the stairs, which is impressive. I'm really like, oh my God, I'm running up the stairs. I'm really happy about that. It just makes a big difference. I've lost nearly 5 kilos, which is just over half a stone. And some of that will have been inflammation. And so with the inflammation going down, that makes my body more able to do stuff as well. It's not just weight, it's inflammation, and that makes a big difference. So yeah, rheumatologist this morning, and then we'll stop and eat on the way home at Le Gaston, and then we'll come home and gird our loins to deal with the chickens who don't get buried. We don't bury them because they'd be dug up, so they actually go into plastic bin bags and go in the bins, and I'm sorry about that, but we don't stand on ceremony here with chickens. The cats that we've had and have died here have been buried, and our first Brahma cockerel was buried. They're all buried over where the end of the bamboo is at the other end of the garden, not microstation in the other end. But chickens we don't bury, and we don't name them for obvious reasons. Well, apart from Mrs. Hopalong and Mrs. Gold and Mrs. Black, but that's it. So yeah, sorry that's not good news. And yeah, be careful about making decisions when you're tired. Thanks for watching. Subscribers are now up. It wasn't nearly 3,000. I don't know. You know what my maths is like. My subscribers are up now. It's just gone over 2.7. So that's good. It had been sort of hanging around in the 290s for quite a while. So, but I think I upset a few people with my vlog about Farage and 30p Lee, and with my lack of research. But I don't always do that. If it's an off the cuff blog, that's what I do. But people come along and they don't know me, and they don't like it. Somebody came along and said, I talked about being slumped in front of the TV. Somebody, oh, you shouldn't be slumping, my dear. You should be out there being active. I deleted it. I wanted to speak, but I deleted it. It's like, you don't fucking know me. You don't know what I have been doing. You don't know what I'm capable of. And sometimes I just have to slump to get my body to stop hurting. Fuck you. Well, that feels better. Okay. See you next time. Hopefully with a happier vlog.